Laura Ehler, the Executive Director of Bryony House, and we're all very excited to hear about how the $12,000 that we raised for them last time was put to good use. So welcome, Lori.
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank you and confirm, yes, we did receive $12,000. We anticipated about $10,000, but I think just before the meeting started, or just a few days before, we gathered some more membership. So we were very thrilled and very happy, and so I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we're doing with the money. So during the time that I presented, I talked a little bit about one of our first goals, what we want to do with the money, is develop two satellite offices outside of where our main administration office is. And to date, we've been able to open one of those offices in Spryfield in partnership with another community organization. So that work is helping us to be able to spread our wings a little bit further and connect with other valuable communities that really have women who sometimes struggle to come into the core of the city. So we've been able to work, so we go there once a week, and so the money has helped us establish that satellite apartment and have a staff member in that satellite apartment once a week. And out of that, we've been able to really do a lot of really concrete outreach work in terms of court support, safety planning, and actually bringing women into the shelter through our work in that community. So that's one thing absolutely fabulous. So thank you very much. One of the things that we also talked about is that we wanted to increase the court support. For those who were here, we were able to get women who come into the shelter, they're safe, and the supportive and staff inside the shelter can help them. Women who, for whatever reason, can't get into the shelter, whether we're full or whether they have other barriers to be able to come in, they also need the support. And one of the most frightening things is when you're trying to save your family and keeping your children with you as a mom, and not wanting your partner, who's been extremely abusive both to you and your children, to have the primary care of your children. So we were able to expand our court support because that was one of the really critical pieces for moms in trying to prepare. So we're now able to spend far more time with women in pre-preparation, do a lot more safety planning, and really get documentation and lawyers on board in terms of understanding the concepts and the reality of these women before they go to court. And we're also able to physically support women in the courtroom because oftentimes women are extremely isolated from their own families when they go into court, where the partner comes in with a whole crew of people and the mom is usually the only other person in the room. So we're able to really go in with a lot of support and a lot of preparation, so they're feeling very confident about what they're doing when they go in. And we've had very, very high successes from that program, and with the increase of that time that we're able to spend with each and every woman. So that is also a huge thing that we've been able to do. We've also been able to reduce our wait times. We used to have about a 4-week wait time through a outreach program, and sometimes that's a long time for women who are really in panic and fleeing a domestic violence situation. And so we're able to actually now reduce it to a 1-week wait period. We're hoping to continue to do that, to reduce it even less, but that is far greater than we had 3 months ago when we were here, or 2.5 months ago when we were here to talk about it. One of the things we also talked about is we wanted to create or kind of develop further a transitional support program. We always help women leaving the shelter and trying to do that, but we really didn't. It was off the sides of the desk and trying to do what we could as patchwork. As a part of the money that we've received, we've been able to add time to our outreach program that allows us, we've created a formal transitional partner with Killam Properties. And since we've met last, that was one of our goals. And that just happened a month ago. And in the month, we've put 5 families into a long-term, safe, and affordable housing for the long term. And that was just 1 month since we've been able to develop that partnership. So it's really good. It's select. We go through a good process, and there's continual support once they move into their new home. So we provide long-term programming and support after they've moved in, and that's with the money that you guys have provided. So organizations are really good at stretching a dollar, let me tell you, and it's been fabulous because the women that I kind of talked about or want to talk about is that we had a woman who fled her relationship. Her partner, they were from Lebanon, and the partner had bought a ticket and was going to kidnap the child and take her back to Lebanon. And so the woman was in our place for 5 months. We usually have 6-week stay. The woman was with us for 5 months, where we walked her through every part of her development, so she felt confident and comfortable moving into a safe place in the community. And she was actually the first person we were able to put in through the transitional program. And so she is phenomenal. She's excited and she's very happy and to have her own place. But she comes back to visit quite a bit. So, but she's very comfortable in her new space, and that's what we've been able to do. And through the program, we're actually hoping to develop partnerships with other housing agencies and properties, so we can expand that. One of the biggest things that we have in terms of our barriers is that when women are leaving a domestic violence situation, they often have really bad credit, really bad landlord history, and a lot of financial barriers. So this program has allowed us to educate Killam Properties, and they have really overlooked those and allow us to put women into and give them a second chance. So they're able to rebuild credit, rebuild landlord history, and have a really safe place to establish their families in the future. So that's been a really fantastic opportunity for us. And one of the things that we also promised, and this will be the last thing, because we still have lots more to do, we just started, is that we really talked about wanting to expand our outreach programs. We do a lot in-house because women are there, and when the kids go to bed, we start programs at night and supportive counseling and stuff. So we talked about doing another program, kind of expanding it and doing it more often, is the Living in Freedom Everyday program. And so what we do is really work with women intensively to understand their patterns of abuse and why they continue to get back into those kind of types of relationships. So with that, we're able to do more programming than we've been able to do in the past. Because again, those programs happen to sit on the sides of your desk, and when you're able to get a few minutes, you start to put it together and then try to put it on. So we've been able to establish some calendar days and actually put on more of those programs. So that is just what we've done in the very short time that we've been able to receive the funds from you guys, and we've slotted out for a whole year what we want to do and have earmarked that money. So I can't thank you enough for making intimate partner violence your business and helping us to save lives, but also to really invest in community nonprofits, because a large chunk of funding can really make a difference. Everyone writes an individual check, but putting it together can make a huge difference in the kinds of programs that community nonprofits run. And so I'm just here to say thank you so graciously from the bottom of my heart for Bryony House, but for all the other agencies that are coming up in the future who can have opportunities and who can really develop some really concrete programs that are just sitting there as great ideas but just can't move forward because of the funding. So we really appreciate it, and thank you so much.